And welcome, everybody, to another edition of Henley Baseball on 104.3 and 960 Sports. We are also live on mybasin.com. Today, the Hornets moving along through Skyline Conference play, wrapping up the season series with their county rival, the Mazama Vikings. My name is Josh Eldridge. So glad to be with you. Matt Bowling here by my side today as we come to you from Mazama High School, just by Viking Field with the new Mazama Baseball Complex, newly redone just in time for the season and looking beautiful. The Hornets taking on the Vikings in just a few minutes. Henley riding a 16-game winning streak into today's contest, and 3 of those wins came against Mazama. Again, wrapping up the season series this afternoon. We'll take a look at the Skyline Conference standings. We'll also check in on the state rankings. Some movement earlier in the week, but as of today, Henley is still number 1. We'll take a look at that and, of course, get you the starting lineups and first pitch. That's all coming up on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com. The Hornets and the Vikings are next.
Introduce Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
Wait, all I do is wait. So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been waiting forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place that feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice, I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coldwell Banker, where home begins.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars. There are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, the retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
Josh Eldridge and Matt Bowling back with you at Henley High School, getting ready for Henley baseball today. And today the Hornets enter play 21-1, 13-0 in conference play. Let's check in on those conference standings. Henley, of course, leading the league. Hidden Valley is in second place. They are 10-2 in league play, 16-6 overall, followed by Phoenix. They're 3-8. Klamath Union 3-10, and Mazama 1-10 in league play. It was Phoenix who grabbed a win over Klamath Union just earlier this week to help catapult them into a tie for that third-place spot in the conference. Again, that is afforded a postseason play-in spot in the 16-team bracket. Now, Hidden Valley and Henley, worst they can do is finish first or second. They're still in that battle, and they will play a week from Saturday, originally scheduled to play this coming Saturday. But with the weather that is on the way, the Mustangs and the Hornets moving to the following weekend to close out Skyline Conference play. Today, closing out the season series with Mazama. In previous games, Henley has beat them 15-3, 18-0, and 10-0. The Hornets have got Bo Pyle on the mound for them today, who previously pitched against the Vikings in their doubleheader earlier in the season. We'll take a closer look at him, as well as Jaden Justice, the Mazama starter, as we get ready for the starting lineups in just a bit. It looks like the Vikings are ready to take the field, so we'll step aside one last time before first pitch. This is Henley Baseball on 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com.
Sports was kind of defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see two things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys and I want to see my high school. And those are the two memories that stick out the most to me.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars, there are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account to retirement planning and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
Josh Eldridge and Matt Bowling with you for Henley Baseball this afternoon. The Hornets getting ready to take on the Mazama Vikings in just a few minutes. Jaden Justice getting the start for Mazama. This will be his 8th start of the season, 9th appearance overall. In 25 1/3 innings of work, he is 0-5 with an ERA of 8.842. He did get one start earlier in the season against Henley. He worked 4 innings in the start back on April 13th. He gave up 12 hits and 8 earned runs in the contest. He also walked 4 Hornets in that game. And we'll get to know the Henley starting lineup in just a moment, as it looks like we're about ready for first pitch as Peyton Price, the starting center fielder for Henley, gets ready to step in. Again, starting a couple minutes early today. Original start time was set for 5 o'clock. First pitch coming in at 4:56, and it is called ball on the outside. Also in the Henley order today, batting second, the catcher, Connor Shively. Aiden Hayes hits third at shortstop, followed by the cleanup hitter, Mark Carpenter. And the 1-0 is in the dirt to Price, 2-0. After Carpenter in the order, Bo Pyle, the pitcher, bats 5th, followed by Max Price at second base. Lane Frank, the right fielder, hits 7th, followed by the first baseman, Owen Harper. Rounding out the order, batting 9th for Henley, is the left fielder, Luke Austin. We've got a 2-1 count to Peyton Price at the plate. As the right-hander Justice gets set to deal.
Price was 1 for 3 with a triple on Tuesday. 2 RBI.
Pitch missed high to him, 3-1, part of the First big inning that Henley had in that game, I believe, came in the fourth when they played at about 6 runs. Swing and a miss. Price now even in the count, 3-2. Justice delivers the full count pitch. It's popped up. Might be playable behind home plate for Carter by the Henley dugout, and he makes the catch on the near side, and that will be the first out of the ball game. Connor Shively bats now for Henley, leading the league in batting average, .521 on the season. And yesterday, 2 for 3 and a couple of RBI for Shively. Only left-handed bat in the Henley order. Is the Hornets wearing their yellow jerseys today and the white pants, still the navy blue cap as always. For Mazama today, they're wearing their home blue jerseys. Mazama written across the chest in white with a blue cap. Shively behind in the count, 0-1 after fouling off the first pitch he saw. Now here's the delivery from Justice. That one will miss wide. The count runs even at 1.
Among all players on Henley who have at least 10 at-bats this season, Shively leads with a .521 batting average.
He's come a long way in only his sophomore season. He faces a 1-2 count to Justice, who comes set, working primarily out of the stretch early and the pitch. That one was high in the zone and fouled off down the third base line, so the count remains a ball and 2 strikes. Henley took a while to get started yesterday on offense, was actually trailing the game after the first inning. Shively fouls off the 1-2 once more. It wound up in a score of 15-3 that marked the 16th consecutive win for Henley and their 13th in a row in conference play. Again, unbeaten in Skyline Conference play this season. A 2-2 count to Connor Shively. On deck is Aiden Hayes for the Hornets. Deshaun Carter gives the sign to Justice. He's the starting catcher for Mazama today, and Shively sends a jolt into one to center field. Over a couple of steps is Lobdell to set down Shively.
Good contact there from Shively, but right to the center fielder.
Set the defense for the Vikings. Again, Carter is catching. Jacoby Nickerson at third. Marcos Ulloa Ford at short. Max Rogers plays second. And Carson Baith at first. We'll get you the outfield for the Vikings after this. The first pitch to Aiden Hayes misses high, 1-0. Pedro Mendez in left, Devin Lobdell in center field, and Parker Whiteley controls things in right for the Vikings. It's a 1-0 count to Hayes. Hayes lifts one, shallow right field. Whiteley coming in on the run and makes the grab for the third out. The Hornets go down in order on 3 flyouts. We head to the bottom of the first on 104.3 and 960 Sports.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see 2 things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys and I want to see my high school. And those are the 2 memories that stick out the most to me.
Bottom of the first inning between the Hornets and the Mazama Vikings. Still scoreless. It's Bo Pyle getting the start on the mound for Henley today. This is his 9th start of the season. 10th appearance overall. He leads the team in innings pitched, 37 2/3 in his work. He is 5-0 if you look at his record. and an ERA of 2.60. He'll be going up against a Mazama order that goes like this. Leading off the pitcher, Jaden Justice, followed by the shortstop, Marcos Ulloa Ford. Devin Lobdell is in center field, batting third, followed by Deshaun Carter, the catcher, hitting cleanup. Carson Baith at first is hitting fifth, followed by the third baseman, Jacoby Nickerson. Parker Whiteley hits seventh in right field. Max Rogers bats eighth at second. And Pedro Mendez is in center field, and he bats ninth for the Vikings. Getting ready to lead things off is Jaden Justice, looking to get a rally started after he shut down the Henley offense on the top of the first inning. Bo Pyle out of the windup, and the first pitch to him is in the zone for a strike. Pyle commands the fastball well and has a real nasty changeup. He pulls the string, and he has guys guessing. That time blows another fastball by Justice, 0-2. Here's the delivery from Pyle. That one misses wide, a ball and two strikes. Connor Shively, the other half of the Henley battery. And we'll get you the defense in just a moment.
Justice struck out twice on Tuesday. He was 0 for 3 at the plate.
And just took strike three, looking there for the first out in the bottom of the first. Around the diamond for Henley, Mark Carpenter plays third. Aiden Hayes is at short. Max Price is at second, and Owen Harper plays first base. In the outfield from left to right, Luke Austin, Peyton Price, and Lane Frank. Pitch into Ulloa Ford. Bats with one away and nobody on. A 1-0 count now to Ulloa Ford. And the pitch. That one misses wide as well. 2-0 to Marcos. Celebrating senior day today along with Carson Baith. They had a small ceremony before first pitch today. The 2-0 pitch is taken for a strike, 2-1 the count.
Ulloa Ford was 2 for 3 at the plate on Tuesday, hitting .460 on the season.
3-1 the count to Ford.
His next closest teammate, Devin Lobdell's hitting .278.
23 hits on the season for Ford. He has done a great job, and this one sends one up the middle of the infield. In the gap is Hayes, but he boots it. Ulloa Ford, now with nobody covering second base, is trying to stretch it. The throw down. Carpenter's covering, and they got him. Getting greedy on the base paths costs Ulloa Ford in the first. Now there's two away for Devin Lobdell.
Excellent recovery there by Henley. You said it. No one was covering second at first. They spotted it, hustled over there, and were able to get him. A couple of early errors allowed Mazama to take the lead early in Tuesday's game. Looked like we might be headed for a repeat of that, but Hornets kept their composure.
Devin Lobdell bats now for Mazama. He takes ball 1 and 2 ahead in the count. Starting center fielder for Mazama sends one sky high into shallow right center field. Coming in is Lane Frank, drops the hat behind him to fight the sun, but makes the catch for the third out. The Vikings take their turn to go down in order as we head to the top of the second on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, breathe in. Now watch your speed and breathe out. Good. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So turn here.
Help keep drivers and backseat drivers safe with Les Schwab Tires.
Getting ready for the top of the second inning. Still scoreless with the Hornets and the Vikings wrapping up their season series today. Due up this half for Henley, Mark Carpenter, Bo Pyle, and Max Price. That's 4, 5, and 6 in the Henley order. They went down 3 up, 3 down in the first, and now looking to start a rally.
Carpenter looking to break a 2-game hitless streak. That's the second time he's had one of those this season. 0 for 6 at the plate over the last 2 games, but he has drawn 3 walks during that span.
Carpenter puts together good at-bats, and as the game goes on and he sees more pitches, he tends to get more dangerous here, batting his first time around against Jaden Justice. First pitch to Carpenter. First pitch swinging, wow, sends a deep bomb to left field. Going back is Mendez, it's over his head. Carpenter digging for second, now turning for third. He will get in there standing, and a leadoff triple for Mark Carpenter. He doesn't want to see too many pitches. He just wants to send a drive into one. What a way to get on base for Mark.
And that's how you break a hitless streak. That nearly cleared the fence. Would have been about 350.
Around the outfield here at Mazama, 325 down either line, 350 to left and right center, and 380 to dead center field. This brings up Bo Pyle. And the first pitch to Pyle will miss wide, 1-0. Carpenter, that triple marks the first base hit of the game for either team, coming here in the top of the second inning. The 1-0 pitch on the way to Bo Pyle. Here it is. Pyle sends a line drive into left field, and that will wind up over the head of Mendez. Carpenter will score with ease, and we'll see where Pyle ends up. He's going to take a big turnaround second. The throw in is weak, and diving into third safely is Bo Pyle. The throw in is wild, but Pyle going to stay at third. So give Pyle an RBI triple, and Henley up 1-0 here at the top of the second inning. This will bring up Max Price. And before that, though, it looks like we're going to get a runner in for Bo Pyle. Ryan Douglas coming out of the dugout for the courtesy runner. As the pitcher, Pyle is afforded one of those. Get some applause from the Henley folks here at Mazama today. Quite a decent turnout, although limited seating here at Mazama. And a few folks in the football grandstand with us as ball 1 is fired into Price. Our vantage point up in the football grandstands overlooking the baseball field, looking northeast back towards the town of Klamath Falls. It's a 1-0 count to Price, and that one is in the dirt, blocked though by Carter. And it's 2-0 to the Henley second baseman.
Price was 1 for 2 at the plate on Tuesday, hitting .311 so far this season.
Justice set with the 2-0, offers up a high ball for the third one, and it's a 3-0 count to Price. On deck is Lane Frank for Henley. Justice comes set. Steps and fires the 3-0. That one will miss high as well, and Price given a walk, which puts runners at the corners. Still nobody out for the Hornets, and Lane Frank to bat.
Price now in sole possession of the second most walks for Henley this season, 18. Mark Carpenter has 19.
Justice shakes off the first sign delivered by Carter, but now decides. Taken off for second is Price. The throw down is going to wind up in center field. Breaking for the plate is Douglas, and he will score on the high throw. And Henley now leads 2-0. In the process, again, Price moved to second, so they're in scoring position still for Lane Frank with nobody out. That pitch called a ball at the plate, and so Frank ahead in the at-bat.
He was 2 for 3 with 2 RBI on Tuesday.
Frank offers up at and misses the fastball. A ball and a strike now to the Henley right fielder. Along with those couple of RBI for Frank, he also scored 2 runs in yesterday's contest. A big lead off a second by Price. The pitch home in the dirt, but Carter able to block it. And no one's going anywhere. 2-1. The count to Frank. Second baseman Rogers trying to keep Price honest, but he's got a fairly considerable lead. The pitch to Frank, hit on a line into left field, but that will curve foul. And the count moves to 2-2 to Lane. Looking a little bit different than usual, I have to say. It probably has to do with the blonde hair. There's a lot of guys on Henley who dyed their hair blonde before this game, and rumor has it that most of the guys went over to Connor Shively's house to do it. So I don't know what the inside joke was, but I'm digging the look. 2-2, the count to Frank. That pitch in the dirt, skips away from Carter. Advancing to third is Max Price. And now the count runs full at the plate to Frank. Set is Justice, ready to deliver the payoff pitch to Frank. Here it is. That one misses in the dirt, gets away from Carter. Breaking for the plate is Max Price, but he will score standing. And after the walk, Frank winds up at first, and Henley leads now 3-0. Back-to-back walks surrendered by Justice. And Price, again, was obviously the guy who got on base. He walked. He advanced by stealing second and getting to third on a pass ball, and then obviously breaking for home in a similar situation as Owen Harper takes strike one.
0 for 1 with a couple walks on Tuesday.
Corner coming in for Mazama Nickerson, the third baseman, playing in on the grass. Middle infield playing for the double play for Mazama. The pitch misses wide. Looked to be a curveball or maybe a slider there from Justice. It's a ball and a strike to Harper. Owen this season batting .204. 11 hits for him on the season. As Harper drives one into center field. Coming in as Lobdell makes the catch on the run for the first out. Frank has to stay put at first, and this will bring up Luke Austin. Austin this season batting .511 on the year. What a luxury it is to have a guy like him in your 9-hole. Almost at this point, works like a second leadoff hitter for Henley because he gets on base so dang much as well. On base to the tune of .627 on the year, and he takes ball one. Pitch was a ball. They try to backdoor Frank at first, but he dives back safely. Count 2-0 to Luke Austin. Peyton Price, top of the Henley order, due up next. Justice set, ready for the 2-0 pitch home to Austin. And the delivery is taken low and possibly away. Count moves to 3-0. Again, it was walks that hurt Justice last time he faced these Hornets as he surrenders his third walk there, giving up 4 walks last time he played Henley. Runners at first and second. As Frank advances to scoring position for Peyton Price, and this will trigger a visit from the Mazama pitching coach. A time for us to remind you that today's broadcast is brought to you by Klamath Falls Subaru. Through the Subaru Love Promise and Subaru Share the Love events, Klamath Falls Subaru has donated thousands of dollars to dozens of hometown charities. Comfortable and not corporate at Klamath Falls Subaru. Stop by and say hi. Situation 1 away and 2 runners on for the top of the Henley order. Again, they lead 3-0 in the top of the second inning. Home plate umpire comes out to break up the party at the mound, and so we are just about ready to resume play. Rogers, the second baseman, trying to hold Frank there, and now returns to his normal spot. Swinging a foul ball back into the glove of Carter at home, so Peyton Price behind in the count, 0-1.
Peyton Price hitting .423 this season with runners in scoring position.
And the pitch. Ground ball winds up foul. Count moves now to 0-2 to Price. Price, one of 6 seniors for Henley. We talked about the guys for Mazama as he takes ball 1. Some seniors playing Mazama for the last time today for the Hornets. Luke Austin, Aiden Hayes, Peyton Price, Lane Frank, and Thomas Bakke as well. So 1-2 count to Peyton Price. And the pitch. Swung on and missed, and Price goes down swinging for the second out here in the second inning. And that brings up Connor Shively.
It's only Price's 9th strikeout of the season.
First pitch to Shively. Thought about it, but the curveball finds the zone anyway. 0-1 the count to the Henley catcher. He's 0 for 1 today. Made good contact on a fly ball to center field, but it was just right at Lobdell. So 0 for 1 on the afternoon so far. The 0-1 pitch on its way to Shively. No, it's going to be a pickoff move to second. Good save by Uloa Ford, leaping to stop that one from getting away. Back safely at second is Frank. Still at first is Luke Austin. 2 away in the top of the second, and Henley leads 3-0. It's an 0-1 count to Shively. The pitch, bouncing ball almost to our broadcast spot here, but winds up in the Henley dugout. And an 0-2 count to the left-hander Shively.
Coach with a nice snag on the bounce.
Got, I don't know how many decades of baseball experience in that Henley dugout, but quite a bit to say the least. The pitch to Shively, taken wide, 1-2. I mean, just your associate head coaches alone, Joe Tacchini and Sean Teeters, longtime staples at Oregon Tech, and now kind of co-head coaching at Henley High School. Got Pete Whistler in the dugout, as well as Craig Connor, a couple of guys who have coached the Klamath Falls Falcons for a number of seasons, and Marvin Rosser, who's been a part of multiple different Henley coaching staffs and always there and taken good care of Rosser Field. And taken, strike 3 called. Connor Shively down, looking to end the second inning, but the Hornets score 3 on 2 hits. They leave 2 stranded, heading to the bottom of the second on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
Middle of the Mazama order, due up to try to respond. They find themselves down to Henley 3-0 in the bottom of the second. Deshaun Carter, Carson Bate, and Jacoby Nickerson. The guys due up to, again, try and respond. It was a strikeout, a base hit for Uloa Ford in the bottom half of the first, but he was thrown out trying to advance to second. And then Devin Lobdell popped out to end the inning. So now it's up to Carter. He was 1 for 2 on Tuesday.
I want to go back to the end of the top half of the inning real quick. Back-to-back strikeouts from Jaden Justice. Peyton Price, only his 9th time striking out this season. Connor Shively, only his 10th time. Doing something not too many pitchers have been able to do to get Mazama out of that inning.
Bo Pyle delivers strike one to Deshaun Carter. And the 0-1, that one is popped up in the infield. Aiden Hayes will call everybody off and make the catch at short for the first out. Good communication there by the Henley infield. Not only Hayes calling off the ball, but everyone there in the Henley infield making sure that they know it's Hayes. They said his name, and good communication. It's a good staple of a championship contending baseball team as strike one is delivered to Carson Bate. Carson takes strike two. One of the seniors honored earlier today plans to attend Oregon State University and continue his education. The 0-2 pitch is a ground ball past Carpenter's glove at third and into left field. A one-out single for Bate brings up Jacoby Nickerson. Good two-strike approach there by the Mazama first baseman. And he gets the team's second base hit of the day.
It's only Bates' fourth hit of the season. Good to get that on senior day.
This brings up Jacoby Nickerson. He's batting 104 on the season as he takes a ball outside, 1-0. Nickerson, I believe, the only left-hander in the Mazama order, getting his first look at Pyle this game. It looks like he's showing bunt, pulls back, but takes strike one.
He was 0 for 2 on Tuesday, also got hit by a pitch.
On deck for Mazama is Parker Whiteley, and a swing and a miss at the plate for Nickerson, and the count a ball and 2 strikes to the Mazama third baseman. Pyle works quickly, keeps his tempo on the mound, already set with the 1-2, and the delivery popped up again, but this one will be well foul behind the third base side. Count remains a ball and 2 strikes. Shively sets up inside to the lefty, and the pitch, and it looked like Nickerson thought it was going to hit him, but it's strike 3 called on the two-seam fastball, and that is 2 away in the second inning, bringing up Parker Whiteley. Whiteley, a junior, hits a ground ball to third. Carpenter plays it on the hop across the diamond in time for the third out. 1 base hit, and they left him on. It's Carson Bate. No runs across for the Vikings in the second inning. They trail Henley 3-0. We head now to the third on 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com.
Introducing Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
Got a new pitcher on the mound for Mazama in the top of the third inning. It'll be Devin Lobdell coming in relief of Jaden Justice. Devin this season, this will be his 11th appearance, 19 innings pitched. His record is 1-3 and an ERA of 6.26. Devin last pitched on Tuesday against Henley, and in his work against the Hornets, he He worked 1 inning and gave up 1 hit and 1 walk. He struck out 1. No runs came across when Lobdell was pitching for the Vikes.
Short run for Jaden Justice on the mound.
I thought he was
Mazama
pitching fairly well as also. He gave up 3 runs and I believe all of them earned, but a couple of strikeouts to end that half inning. Looked like he was finding his groove back.
It did. Mazama maybe trying to get it done by committee today.
First pitch from Lobdell is called a ball inside to Aiden Hayes, 1-0. Aiden, so far today, 0 for 1. He flew out in the first inning to right field. Lobdell said, again, also a Mazama guy who likes to work out of the stretch. And fires in ball 2. Devin, well, at least in the past, has been a part of the Klamath Falls Falcons, American Legion summer team here in the Basin. The 2-0 is hit hard to center field. Rogers is going to have to get on his horse and get back there. He won't. Over his head, Hayes digging for 3. They hit the cutoff man, but Hayes will get a leadoff triple just as Henley started the second. They start the third, a leadoff triple, bringing up Mark Carpenter.
That's Aiden Hayes' first triple of the season. It's a good ball hit. Ended up going right to the warning track on the bounce. And Hayes just turning on the jets to get to 3.
It was Rogers in center field, by the way. The only other defensive sub for Mazama when they brought in the new pitcher was that Jaden Justice, who was on the mound, moved to second. And Max Rogers, who was at second, moved to center field. And obviously, Lobdell came in from center. So those are the only changes for the Vikes so far. It's a 1-0 count to Carpenter as he takes a pitch in the dirt. So far, Mark is 1 for 1 with that triple I just mentioned in the second inning. Carpenter takes a pitch in the dirt, 2-0. Mark also on the American Legion Falcons team. Just got word that they do have tryouts coming up Memorial Day weekend at Kiger Stadium. So any underclassmen who were unaware of the Falcons want to get out and try out for that team. Carpenter sends a bomb deep to left field. Back to the wall is Mendez, but the wind killed it in left field. It dropped in front of him. Scoring from third is Hayes, and Carpenter slides into third safely. Back-to-back triples for the Hornets. It's Carpenter's second as well, and they lead 4-0.
Fourth triple of the game for Henley. The power hitting is on full display right now for the Hornets.
Bo Pyle was the other guy who hit the triple today for Henley. He did it in the second inning and scored a run once he got there. Well, it was Douglas who scored on his behalf as the pitcher. Pyle gets that courtesy runner. See what he can do here. First pitch taken outside, 1-0. Lobdell looking in, gathering the sign from Carter. Deshaun sets up on the inner third to Pyle, and the delivery is going to find the inner third of the zone and be called strike 1. Good job hitting the spot there by Lobdell. Runner at third is Carpenter. Got an RBI triple to get there. Helped his team lead 4-0. This one fisted out to shortstop. Uloa Ford hardly has to move to put that one away for the first out. And this brings up Max Price. He walked in his first plate appearance and came around to score in the second inning. That's now with 1 out and a runner at third base. His team up by 4. Lobdell set. And the delivery. First pitch swing, and that one will wind up foul. 0-1. Talked about the wind that might have stolen a home run from Carpenter a few at-bats ago. It's blowing pretty much directly in from the left field foul pole. And so hit a high fly ball, but just kind of stalled in midair. He still wound up with a triple, but definitely stole his home run. It's an 0-2 count to Price. This one is a line drive foul down the left field line, so we'll do it again, 0-2. On deck after Price is Lane Frank. And Owen Harper waits in the hole. An 0-2 count to Price. Here it is. That one is hit weakly out towards short. Uloa Ford charging in, but can't control it. And an E6 allows Price to reach base and bringing up Lane Frank. He'll bat with runners at the corners. And one out. Deshaun Carter given the signs from behind the plate what to do when Max Price inevitably probably tries to swipe second here. There he goes. They're going to throw down to third and try to get Carpenter, but that allows Price to wind up at second. And now Frank bats with a couple of runners in scoring position. That pitch was called a ball at the plate. Frank walked in his first plate appearance, was left stranded in the second inning.
Hitting .379 this year with runners in scoring position.
Takes strike one, low in the zone. Evens the count for Frank. Lane, a part of the Henley basketball team that made it to the state tournament. They're back-to-back seasons making it to the Elite Eight and joining a baseball team that feels like he picked up right where he left off in basketball. Just winning ways continuing for the Hornets across multiple sports this season. Obviously, the girls basketball team winning the state championship, along with football, of course. Be remiss without mentioning the best season in program history as Frank fouls the 2-1 off.
Frank was part of that team, too.
Yeah. Lane even the count, 2-2 with one away, two runners in scoring position. Price at second, Carpenter at third. His team up 4. Here's the pitch. In the dirt, knocked down by Carter. The count runs full. Frank has seen a lot of pitches early in this game. Again, he walked back in the second inning, but that was also a full count when he got on base. Nickerson playing in on the grass. Ground ball hit to third. Don't be surprised if he comes home with it. The pitch is offered up at and missed. Frank goes down on strikes for the second out in the third. And this will bring up Owen Harper. Harper 0 for 1 today, flew out in the second, and the first pitch to him is weakly hit out towards second base. Over to control it is Justice, but he couldn't do it. Nicked right off his glove, and one run scored from third. It was Carpenter. Scoring from second is Max Price. So give Harper a couple of RBIs. The Hornets now lead 6-0 on the E4. Costly error there by Justice, allowing 2 runs to come across. Luke Austin bats now with Harper at first. Austin walked in his first plate appearance and was left stranded at first. First pitch. Taken off for second is Harper. He dives in safely, and a stolen base for Owen Harper. Haven't seen that all that much this year. Harper, that's his 5th stolen bag of the season. Pitch to Austin in the dirt. A ball and a strike now to the Henley left fielder. Already 3 runs home in the inning for the Hornets, and they lead 6-0 in the top of the third. The pitch from Lobdell looked to be the off-speed pitch. Started in on the hands for Austin, then broke back across the plate for strike 2. On deck is Peyton Price. And that'll be called ball 2. Pitch low and away to the right-handed hitting Austin. Count is even. And 2 away in the third. Lobdell set. Delivers the 2-2. Taking off for third is Harper. The pitch at home misses. Harper dives into third safely. 2 stolen bags on this trip around the bases for Owen Harper. Puts him 90 feet away from scoring. and it's a full count at the plate to Luke Austin.
Both of Austin's RBI Tuesday came with 2 outs.
Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. The pitch in the dirt had Austin reaching, and that will retire the side. But the Hornets do score 3 in the inning on 2 base hits. They leave 1 stranded, and they lead 6-0 on 104.3 and 960 Sports. Also live video on mybasin.com.
All I do is wait. So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been waiting forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face. I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place that feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice. I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
Bottom of the 3rd inning, 8, 9, and 1 in the Mazama order due up as they trail Henley 6-0. Max Rogers, Pedro Mendez, and Jaden Justice due up this half. Hornets scored 3 in the 2nd and 3 more in the 3rd to find themselves up by 6 runs. Rogers, the freshman, leading things off in the 3rd for Mazama. First pitch to him is taken strike 1 on the outer 3rd. A hard fastball there from Pyle. Mixes in that 2-seam fastball. And Rogers late on the 0-1 offering, 0-2 the count now. The pitch can start on the outside to right-handers, and then just the late break on Pyle's 2-seam fastball just comes right back across the plate. That time the off-speed pitch misses low, 1-2. The 1-2 misses. Must have been outside. Count is even now to Max Rogers. And the delivery from Pyle, he fouls it off. Count remains. Pyle out of the windup, delivers the 2-2. Offered up at and missed by Rogers, and strike 3 swinging. First out here in the 3rd. And that brings up Pedro Mendez.
Mendez only has 6 plate appearances on the season. Has not recorded a hit.
Pedro, a sophomore, getting his first year of varsity experience. Pitch is fouled off. Count moves to 0-2 to Mendez, the starting left fielder for Mazama today. On deck, Jaden Justice. Pyle again keeps tempo on the mound. Ready to deliver the 0-2. Steps and fires. That pitch taken wide, 1-2. He does like to work away from those right-handers, especially in 2-strike situations. See where Shively sets him up here. Looks like right down the middle. Offered up at and missed. Looked like the changeup from Pyle. Second strikeout in this inning brings up Jaden Justice. Fifth strikeout of the day for Pyle. Justice was one of them in the bottom of the 1st inning. He's 0 for 1 today. Here's the pitch from Pyle. Looked at for strike 1. Pyle's done a good job of starting these at-bats with a first pitch strike. Most important pitch in baseball, 0-1. That one's lifted in the air behind third base. Carpenter giving chase in foul territory, but called off by Hayes, who makes the grab, and that will end the inning. The Vikings go down in order, and we head to the top of the 4th with Henley leading Mazama 6-0 on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars, there are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Getting ready for the top of the fourth inning, and it'll be the top of the Henley order due up. Taking a look at the ball game so far for Henley. 6 runs on 4 hits. The Hornets have yet to commit an error. They've left 4 runners on base today. For Mazama, no runs on 2 hits for the Vikings, and they have committed 2 errors as well. They have left 1 runner on base to this point in the game. Again, top of the Henley order due up this half. Peyton Price, Connor Shively, Aiden Hayes. Price 0 for 2 today, and he takes strike 1 called. He struck out in the second inning and popped out to Deshaun Carter behind the plate in the first. Devin Lobdell into his second inning of work in relief for Mazama. Delivers the 0-1 pitch. That's in the dirt. A ball and a strike. The count to Price. Price this season again hitting .393, takes a pitch well high, 2-1 the count. Peyton, one of the seniors I'd mentioned earlier in the broadcast, younger brother Max also getting the start today. He's started most of Henley's games this season at either second or third base as the younger Max Price. And swung right through for Peyton, 2-2. Peyton predominantly starting in center field. And that's where he is today in the lineup, batting leadoff. 2-2, the count to Peyton. Lobdell set and delivers. Hard ground ball to third, skips past Nickerson and into left field. And Peyton Price hits first and takes a tumble around first base. He popped right back up, though, looks to be okay. So a leadoff single for Peyton has Henley in order in the top of the fourth. Fifth hit of the day for Henley. And this will bring up Shively. 0 for 2 on the afternoon as Connor Shively flew out in the first, struck out in the second. And the move over to first, diving back safely is Peyton. Peyton on the base paths this season, just 5 stolen bags, although he is perfect 5 for 5 in stolen base attempts. He takes off here. Showing bunt with Shively at the plate, takes a ball low. The throw down is wide right, and in at second safely is Peyton Price, a runner in scoring position for Shively, who finds himself in a 1-0 count. On deck is Aiden Hayes. Lobdell set. Decent lead off of first by Price. A huge secondary lead. Ground ball towards second. Charging it is Justice. The throw over to first is not in time. Shively legged out a routine ground ball for an infield single. Advancing to third is Peyton Price. That puts runners at the corners for Aiden Hayes.
Only have mentioned a couple times Henley's speed on the base paths. You saw it right there. 9 times out of 10, that is a routine ground out, but Shively just beat it.
First pitch to Hayes in the dirt. Shively takes off. The throw down to try to cut off the second baseman. That broke Price to the plate, and the throw back got him. Heads up play there by Price, but maybe even more there by Ulloa Ford to make the grab at second, fire it back home, and cut down the lead runner. Shively did wind up at second, but now there's one away in the fourth. It's a 1-0 count to Hayes. Hits one, shallow center field. Back is Ulloa Ford. That one looks to be danger. The wind caught it, and it lands behind Ulloa Ford for a base hit. Trying to advance to third is Shively. The throw to third in time, but Nickerson can't corral it. Shively winds up at third. Aiden Hayes advances to second on the throw. And so now, again, 2 runners in scoring position for the guy you want in this situation. It's Mark Carpenter. Mark is 2 for 2, a pair of triples and an RBI today. Leads the league in RBI this season with 37. Pitch to Carpenter, a drive into left field, and that one is right to Mendez. But tagging up from third is Shively, and he will score. Staying put at second is Hayes. And so even though it was a sacrifice fly, give Carpenter the RBI to put Henley up 7-0. Maybe not the result Mark was hoping for, but gets his job done regardless. Knocks in a run for Bo Pyle to bat now with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. It's Aiden Hayes at second. First pitch to Pyle, ground ball towards short. Ulloa Ford up with it. His throw is high and wild. Now breaking for home is Hayes. He will score. Heading to second is Pyle, and he gets in standing. An E6 from the Oregon Tech commit plates another Henley run, and they lead 8-0.
That is a tough break for Mazama. That absolutely should have been the end of the inning. But we continue.
Ryan Douglas coming back in to run for Bo Pyle. Douglas scored a run earlier in the game when running for Pyle. Finds himself at second for Max Price. That is the 4th Mazama error. This one, a ground ball into the gap. Ulloa Ford gloves it in the gap, makes up for the error with an extraordinary sliding play at short. Okay, Marcos, way to go. That will end the inning, but not before Henley scores 2 more on 3 base hits, and they lead 8-0. So we head to the bottom of the fourth, 104.3 and 960 Sports.
Comfortable and not corporate. At Clown Falls Subaru, we built our business on that simple promise. Well, that and some of the best people you're ever going to meet. Hi, I'm Rob Cedar, General Manager at Clown Falls Subaru. Our 62 employees make it easy for us to live up to our comfortable, not corporate philosophy. Friendly faces, easy answers, straight talk, fairness, and exceptional service. These are the things you expect. These are the things that all of our people deliver. Our management team, sales pros, certified service and body shop techs, lot attendants, and detail experts are all 100% focused on you. Local people putting their friends and neighbors first. At Clown Falls Subaru, that's the only way we do business. It's comfortable, not corporate. Our team members also spend hundreds of hours each year supporting local charities and events through the Subaru Love Promise. That's the kind of people they are. We're very proud of them. They're your friends, they're your neighbors, they're glad to know you, and they want you to be glad to know them too. I'm Rob, and this is what makes us comfortable, not corporate.
Bottom of the fourth inning, and Henley leads Mazama on the road 8-0. Due up this half, Marcos Ulloa Ford, Devin Lobdell, and Deshaun Carter. That's 2, 3, 4 in the Mazama order. Marcos 1 for 1 today, but was out trying to stretch his single into a double and takes ball 1 outside here, 1-0. Marcos ended the last inning with, gave us a bit of whiplash up here. A routine ground ball turned an error and made an extremely good defensive play to end the inning. Here he sends a ground ball to short. Hayes makes the routine play to record the first out in the fourth.
Yeah, tremendous slide there by Ulloa Ford on that last play, showing that next level skill.
Devin Lobdell batting now for Mazama. 0 for 1 today. He flew out in the first inning. Matt's here with one away. Here's the delivery from Pyle. This is a hard grounder up the middle and into center field. A one-out single for the Vikes. Puts a runner on first for DeJohn Carter. Third base hit of the day for Mazama. Comes with one out in the fourth. Again, they are trailing Henley 8-0. Carter is 0 for 1 today. He struck out in the second inning. But third on the team in batting average, .235 for the season. And he leads his team in RBI. First pitch to Carter on the way. Looked at for ball one, low. Carter 10 RBI on the season. And 3 extra base hits on the year for Mazama. Heading the count 1-0. Here's the pitch. And fouled off. A ball and a strike to Carter. Three runs for Henley in the second, 3 more in the third. They added 1 in the top half of this fourth inning. And they lead 8-0. Here's the 1-1 from Pyle. Missed away from the righty Carter, 2-1. Aboard at first is Lobdell. He reached on a single just a moment ago. Pyle gives him the look before coming set and delivering the 2-1. It's a ground ball out towards short. Hayes boots it and won't make any play for one. Another routine ground ball turns into an error at shortstop. This time it's Henley's turn to do the honors. And this will bring up Carson Bate with 2 runners on and 1 out.
Maybe something in the dirt out there.
It must be. I mean, these guys are short-handed. Hayes does lead the team in errors, but playing shortstop, you get a lot of balls hit to you out there. This is another opportunity. The left side of the infield, Carpenter to second for 1. The throw on to first is not in time and skips away from Owen Harper. A runner will score. Lobdell from third. And aboard at first is Bathed on the E4. 2 away in the inning, but Mazama gets their first run across. They trail 8-1. First error of the day second error of the day for Henley, and they come on back-to-back plays to allow Mazama to score their first run. This brings up Jacoby Nickerson, who bats with 2 away and a runner aboard at first. Nickerson is 0 for 1 today with a strikeout in the second. Lifts one behind third base. Carpenter gives chase but lets that one drop foul, well away from a playable ball for Mark. And an 0-2 count to Nickerson. On deck, Parker Whiteley, hoping for an opportunity to continue this inning for Mazama. The 0-2 pitch misses wide to the lefty Nickerson. 1-2. Pyle set and delivers a pitch. That one misses in. So the count runs even now, 2-2. 2 outs in the bottom of the fourth inning. Runner aboard at first for Mazama. And they trail Henley 8-1. Pyle kicks and fires. That one again will miss wide, and the count runs full, 3-2 after being ahead 0-2. Pyle has lost a hold of this at-bat, and a good job by Nickerson not to go chasing out of the zone. The full count pitch also misses high, and a 2-out walk does bring up Parker Whiteley. Advancing to second is Carson Bate. His second time on base on his senior day, originally reached on a single in the second. And Parker Whiteley offers up and misses the first pitch he sees, 0-1. Whiteley grounded out in his first at-bat in the second, making him 0 for 1 on the afternoon. Whiteley was also hitless on Tuesday. Here's the 0-1 to Parker. That one offered up at and fouled off. The elevated fastball had Whiteley a bit late, but got a piece of it for an 0-2 count.
That one hit lane 2 on the track.
0-2 and misses there, 1-2. Of course, yeah, Viking field right behind us from our vantage point in the grandstand. Had 2 track meets there in the last 2 weeks, and the big one, the Coldwell Banker Invitational. 26 teams from around Oregon, Washington, Nevada, and California all coming down. And it was the Henley Hornet boys who claimed that track meet. The 2-2 pitch misses high to Whiteley, and the count runs full. The Sisters Outlaws girls came to town. Sisters just a little bit northwest of Bend. And the Sisters girls won that meet back a couple of weeks ago on April 20th. Whiteley, a ground ball over towards third. Mark Carpenter up with it across the diamond to Harper in time for the third out. But the Vikings score 1 on 1 base hit in the inning. They leave 2 stranded, and they trail 8-1 as we head to the top of the 5th on 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com.
What, Rod? Great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool. On the field. Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends. Yeah! Be great.
Participate!
Top of the 5th inning, and the bottom of the Henley order due up as they lead by 7. Lane Frank, Owen Harper, and Luke Austin score 8-1 as we go to the 5th. Mazama scored their first run in the bottom half of the 4th. That's how we find ourselves with this score. Lane Frank to bat for Henley. He's 0 for 1 today, walked and struck out in 2 plate appearances.
Henley needs 3 runs here to have a chance to end the game early. And it looks like we've also got some bullpen action going for the Hornets. Mark Carpenter over there getting some tosses in.
It's an 0-1 count to Frank. Here's Lobdell with the pitch. That one is hit to center field. In is the center fielder, Rogers, diving for it, but it's under his glove and behind him. Rounded second and headed for third is Lane Frank. The wheels are turning, and he'll get in standing. Another leadoff triple. That's the 3rd leadoff triple this game for the Hornets, and they have themselves in business in the 5th.
5th total triple, too. I mean, they have benefited some from the Mazama outfielders having difficulty tracking those balls. But
Owen Harper.
The bats are really coming through for Henley.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Owen Harper ahead in the count 1-0. He's 0 for 2 today. He did reach on an error in the 3rd, but also flew out in the 2nd. Harper sends a jolt into one, a line drive into center field, gets down for a base hit. Kicks around out there in the outfield, but just an RBI single for Owen Harper gets him into the hits column and gives him his 3rd RBI as Henley now leads 9-1.
There must be a divot in the grass out there. You don't see a ball take a bounce like that in the outfield very often.
Yeah, sort of just kicked straight up into the air when it was going right. Stopped all momentum, but Rogers able to adjust and make the play. Throw over to first to try to get Harper back safely. Again, Harper did reach on an error in the 3rd. He stole 2nd and 3rd base on that trip around the bases for his 4th and 5th stolen bases of the season. Pitch in the dirt, and a 1-0 count to Luke Austin, who is 0 for 1 today. He walked, was left stranded in the 2nd, and he also struck out in the 3rd inning. Lobdell checks Harper at first, now comes set. And the pitch. That one in the dirt, 2-0. On deck, Peyton Price. It's the top of the Henley order after Austin. And on the grass is Nickerson, middle infield, trying to turn two. Still nobody out in this inning. And already one run home. It's a 2-1 count now to Luke Austin.
Looks like 3-0.
Oh, 3-0. And the pitch. Check swing. That'll be a strike in the zone. Maybe a bit elevated for Austin's liking. But the count moves now to 3-1. To my count, 9 base hits on the day for Henley. Has scored 9 runs in the ballgame. Strike 2. Looked like Austin might have been taken all the way there. The bat hardly made it off his shoulder. And the count runs full for the Henley left fielder. Small lead off of first by Harper. See if anything is going with the full count pitch. Lobdell set. And the delivery will ring him up. Strike 3 called inside to Austin. He is the first casualty this inning for Henley. And this will bring up the top of the order. We'll see if we got a pitching change or just a meeting on the mound for Mazama. And that will be it for Devin Lobdell after a strikeout. We're going to get a new arm for the Vikings. We'll tell you who it is when we come back. We continue your coverage of Henley baseball on the other side. The Hornets lead 9-1 on 104.3 and 960 Sports.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see 2 things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys and I want to see my high school. And those are the 2 memories that stick out the most to me.
New arm for the Vikings is Jacoby Nickerson. This is his 8th appearance of the season. He's worked 5 innings. Doesn't have a decision on the year, but an ERA of 23.80. Comes in relief of Devin Lobdell, who is responsible for the runner at first. It's Owen Harper, so can't quite close the book on him yet. But he's returned to center field, and Max Rogers will replace Jacoby Nickerson at third. So we'll reset the whole defense for you. Behind the dish for Mazama, Deshaun Carter. Max Rogers at third, Marcos Ulloa Ford at short. Jaden Justice plays second, Carson Baith at first for Mazama. In left field, it's Pedro Mendez. In center, it's Devin Lobdell, and Parker Whiteley still holding things down in right for Mazama. And the first task for Jacoby Nickerson will be Peyton Price, the top of the Henley order. Inherits a situation with just 1 out, and the runner at first is Harper.
Nickerson has faced Henley before. Back on April 13th, he faced 11 batters, gave up 5 hits, walked 3. Hornets scored 11 runs. He also hit 2 batters, was not able to record an out.
Nickerson, just a freshman, so trying to just get some reps in against a really good Henley order. He'll start at the top. Again, here's Peyton Price, who's 1 for 3 today. Has flown out, struck out, but he singled most recently in the 4th inning. First pitch to him will miss wide, 1-0. Carpenter returns from the bullpen. He might get some action in the 5th. But Bo Pyle's been throwing really well for Henley as well. It's a 1-0 count to Peyton Price. Nickerson set, and the delivery will find the zone. A ball and a strike to Price. Might have been a little bit low for the center fielder's liking, but he'll have to live with it. The count's even. Line drive towards short. Played it on a hop as Ulloa Ford. On to Justice for 1, and that is all Mazama will get. Safely at first on the fielder's choice is Peyton Price, and there's now 2 away in the 5th inning. Connor Shively bats now for Henley. Connor singled and scored in the 4th, otherwise has struck out and flown out. This time sends one foul out of play behind third, behind the count 0-1. Shively again leading the conference in batting average, hits, runs scored. He's been dominant in his sophomore year. Taken off from first is Price. The throw down will be just a little bit too far left. Sliding in safely is Price in scoring position now, and a 1-1 count at the plate for Shively.
Interesting thing about Shively, he leads Henley in hits, tied for the lead in triples, but has not hit a home run.
Shively takes a pitch high and in. Count runs to 3-1. And he will take ball 4 high. So that puts him aboard at first for Aiden Hayes. Not everything has gone right for the Mazama pitching staff today, although that is only the 4th walk allowed by all 3 Mazama pitchers so far. Starts out Aiden Hayes with ball 1. There's 2 away for Aiden. He bats with Shively on first and Price aboard at second. Rogers set with the 1-0 and the pitch. Chopper down the third baseline, foul. 1-1.
Stats would suggest Hayes is the guy you want up here. He's batting .500 with runners in scoring position. Tied for second on the team with 7 2-out RBI.
Hayes also second on the team in overall RBI, 31 on the season, second to Mark Carpenter, who is waiting on deck. It's a 2-1 count to Aiden. Rogers has been missing high. Just got to finish those pitches, and the delivery will also miss high. 3-1. Rogers gathers the sign, Nickerson gathers the sign from Carter and delivers. A sharp ground ball down the third baseline, called fair. That's going to score 1. Price rounds third and heads for home. They're going to keep Shively at second, and Henley now leads 10-1 and an RBI single from Aiden Hayes. 3 knocks on the afternoon for Aiden, and that brings up Mark Carpenter.
Carpenter hitting similarly well in these types of situations. .462 with runners in scoring position. Team high 8 2-out RBI.
Carpenter takes ball 1 wide. 1-0. Carpenter 2 triples today and a sacrifice fly with the RBI, so he's 2 for 2 with 2 RBI today. And the pitch from Nickerson will miss high, 2-0. The count to Carpenter. Bo Pyle waits on deck for Henley as they lead Mazama by 9, 10-1. Rogers hugging the line at third for the pull-hitting Carpenter. Ground ball out towards short. Uloa Ford backhands it, fires across the diamond, but the first baseman pulled his foot, and the bases are loaded for Bo Pyle. Pyle bats now with the potential mercy rule run at third, although Mazama does get a chance to respond. Not a walk-off situation for Henley here. It's a visiting team, but Pyle will be hit on the first pitch he sees, and that will score that run. Henley now up by 10. They're up 11-1.
Good chance, though, for Max Price to get a little insurance, pad that run rule threshold.
Price today 0 for 2. He's walked and reached on an error. Each of those times he came around to score. He also grounded out last inning. This time takes strike one. Price this season batting .311, weekly hits one foul. Count moves now to 0-2. Max with 18 RBI this season. Nickerson looks in and comes set. The pitch will miss high. Ball and 2 strikes. The count to Price. On deck is Lane Frank. He started this inning with a leadoff triple and would come around to score. The pitch, that one will also miss high, 2-2. Good job there by Max to work the count even after being down 2 strikes. Nickerson having a dig here, trying to get his Vikings out of this inning. The pitch. It is popped foul, so the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs and the bases loaded. At first, it's Bo Pyle. Mark Carpenter stands at second. Aiden Hayes is at third. And again, already 3 runs home this half inning for Henley. The 2-2 pitch. That one will miss high, and the count runs full. Payoff pitch. Most of the runners out here will likely be on the move here. With 2 outs and the bases loaded and a full count pitch. Nickerson, the delivery, and it is fouled off. A pitch that was probably out of the zone, but you got to be defensive with 2 strikes. Price will stay alive to see another full count pitch. Set is Nickerson, and the delivery. Hard grounder will get past the third baseman Rogers into left field. Hayes will score. Carpenter will score from second. And Henley leads now 13-1 on a 2 RBI single from Max Price. Advancing to second was Bo Pyle. And the Hornets have officially batted around here in this inning. Lane Frank was scheduled to hit here, but instead it will be Corbin Hamilton batting with 2 on and 2 out in the top of the 5th.
Hamilton hitting .273 this season. This will be his first plate appearance since April 27th. Last time he recorded a hit was April 23rd.
Here's the pitch to Hamilton. He's going to take ball 1 high, 1-0. Again, aboard at first is Price. Pyle at second. And a 1-0 count at the plate to Corbin Hamilton. Checks his swing, but it's a called strike one anyway. 1-1. Hamilton, one of the guys displaying Henley's depth this season as he takes strike 2. Guy who predominantly comes off the bench when the games have gotten out of hand, but even then, a productive hitter hitting .273 on the season. The 1-2 pitch from to Corbin is offered up at and missed. In the dirt from Carter. The throw down to first will skip away from Bate. The tag applied, but it's late. And a strikeout, but the error allows Hamilton to reach first and will load the bases for Thomas Baki. Price to second, Pyle to third.
Baki also got in on Tuesday, recorded a hit. He's got his batting average up to 306. 12 RBI, has hit a home run.
Baki takes a ball, 1-0. And again, the Hornets have been rallying here with 2 outs. Second out was recorded 8 batters ago. Since then, Henley has had 4 base hits, a couple of walks, and a hit batsman has kept the rally going. And Baki ahead in the count 2-0. That one will miss as well, 3-0. Hits for Owen Harper today, who exits the game after a 1-for-3 day. He flew out, reached on an error, and hit a single. Harper had 3 RBI, and it looks like we're getting a meeting at the mound for Jacoby Nickerson. I want to remind you that games have been moved this season on multiple occasions, sometimes because of the weather, but earlier this year having to move a game just for lack of umpires. Desperately needed here in Klamath County. So if you want to stay in shape and be involved in a sport you love, you can earn some money in the process by becoming an athletic official. You can visit osaa.org/officials. I know they're looking for every sport, baseball, softball, the big ones that they're always recruiting for, wrestling and volleyball. A few more basketball refs would never hurt either. But whatever the sport is that you want to stay involved in, osaa.org/officials. And it looks like we're going to be getting another pitching change in the ball game, and it might be Deshaun Carter as the catcher jogs off the field to take off the gear, swapping it out with Justice. So we'll get the details coming up on the other side. Right now in the top of the 5th inning with 2 outs, Henley leads Mazama 13-1. More Henley-based 104.3 and 960 Sports.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, breathe in. Now watch your speed and breathe out. Good. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So turn here.
Help keep drivers and backseat drivers safe with Les Schwab Tires.
So Deshaun Carter is coming to pitch for Mazama. It's going to be caught by Jaden Justice, it seems. And Mazama will need a second baseman. We'll see who they get out there for that. As Justice was at second base and is now catching. And again, Deshaun Carter was catching, now on the mound. Take a look at Carter this season. This will be Deshaun's 4th appearance of the year. 3.2 innings of work and an ERA of 19.09. And it looks like Nickerson is coming out to play second. So there you have it.
This is his first appearance since April 20th. Faced 9 batters against Klamath Union. Walked 5. Gave up 6 earned runs, only 1 hit. Managed to get 1 out.
I believe it'll still be Thomas Bakke at the plate and a 3-0 count to the new Henley first baseman. And then Luke Austin is on deck, but see if Henley makes another substitution, as they've been doing when these games get a bit out of reach. So a 3-0 count to Bakke. And 2 runners on. At first, it is Corbin Hamilton. At second, it's Max Price. Again, still 2 away here in the top of the 5th. Carter comes set. And the pitch is called a strike. Pardon me, the base is loaded for Henley. Standing at third is still Bo Pyle. Count 3-1. Carter delivers. Pitch misses wide, and that will walk in a run. Henley leads 14-1. And this will bring up Ryan Douglas. Pyle scored on the walk. Price advanced to third. Hamilton to second. Bakke, of course, at first. And again, Ryan Douglas to bat now for Henley with the bases loaded and 2 away. Nine batters have hit with 2 outs in the inning, and this is a line drive into left field. Ryan Douglas is going to knock in Price. Corbin Hamilton's also going to score on the play. Thomas Bakke winds up at second at a 2 RBI single for Ryan Douglas on the first pitch he sees.
That's his first RBI of the season.
Way to go. Puts his team up 16-1 in the top of the 5th inning. And Peyton Price to bat now for Henley. And it looks like he's going to be replaced by Shiv Patel. First pitch to Shiv is taken wide for a ball, 1-0.
Patel's 8th plate appearance of the season. He has yet to record a hit.
Shiv, a member of the championship-winning football team this year. His senior project is the Henley Football Golf Tournament that'll be held this summer. Get your details on sponsorships, or if you just want to play on mybasin.com for the Henley Football Golf Tournament this year. Third pitch misses high to Shiv. He's ahead in the count 3-0. Carter comes set and delivers. That pitch will miss and load the bases once more for Henley. And batting now is Connor Shively.
It's only Patel's 2nd time reaching base this season. The other one came when he was hit by a pitch. I'm sure he prefers the walk.
Shively bats, the bases loaded, 2 away, and takes strike 1 on the inner third. Eight runs home for the Hornets this half inning. And the bases again loaded for Shively, who takes strike 2. At third, Bakke. Second is Douglas. And again, Shiv Patel aboard at first. Carter gathers the sign from Justice, comes set, and the pitch. That one is lined into center field. That'll get down for a base knock. It'll score Bakke, and the Hornets content to play station to station there. A RBI single for Shively pushes the Henley lead to 17-1. Bakke scored, Douglas to third, Patel to second. Now Shively aboard at first. That's his second hit of the day and his first RBI. This brings up Ian Meyer going to hit for Aiden.
We saw him on Tuesday. Drew a walk in his only plate appearance. And he's a guy you mentioned, we don't see him at the plate a lot, but when he gets a chance, he takes advantage of it. Hitting .556 on 9 at-bats coming into this game.
Ball and a strike to Meyer. Carter set with the pitch. Steps and delivers. Meyer, hard ground ball over towards short. Uloa Ford up with it across the diamond in time for the third out. But the Hornets score 9. They lead 17-1, looking to close things out in the bottom half of the fifth. That's coming up on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
Mark Carpenter taking over on the mound for Henley. Taking a look at Mark this season. This will be his 11th appearance overall, his 6th out of the bullpen. He's worked 36 and 2/3 innings, 4-0 on the season, and a ERA of .764. That is remarkable. We'll get you a couple of the other defensive changes for the Hornets. And taking a look around the diamond, Thomas Bakke has checked in at first. I believe we see Carson Sims over there at second. Aiden Hayes has re-entered the game at short. Max Price has moved over to third. In the outfield, Ryan Douglas is in left. Peyton Price is in center. And Lane Frank has re-entered the game in right. Connor Shively still catching for Henley. Bottom of the Mazama order. Well, it's 8, 9, and 1 in the Viking order due up as they try to score 8 runs this inning to continue the ball game. Otherwise, Henley will earn another victory over the Vikings this year by mercy rule. Looking for the season sweep, and if that were to hold, each win over Mazama this season would be via the mercy rule. And pardon me, one more defensive switch. It's not Frank in right anymore. It is Corbin Hamilton, which is what I thought, but now just getting official word for it. So Hamilton in right field for the Hornets. And Carpenter's first challenge is Max Rogers. Here's the pitch from Carpenter. Ball 1, misses outside. Carpenter delivers the 1-0. That one will find the zone, 1-1. Carpenter comes with that hard fastball, the good slider, and a pretty good changeup as well for Mark. That pitch will also find the zone, 1-2. Carpenter, I mentioned it earlier, we just want to highlight it again. Carpenter, one of the star players on the Klamath Falls Falcons American Legion baseball team during the summer, which combines players from all area high schools, coached by Henley assistant Pete Whistler. Tryouts for the Falcons are Memorial Day weekend at Kiger Stadium. They're also going to be hosting a summer baseball camp, and their schedule should be made public here in the next few days. That's according to head coach Pete Whistler. Full count to Max Rogers, who's 0 for 1 today. He struck out in the third. Pitch home is looked at for strike 3. Carpenter records the first strikeout here in the fifth. And one down for Mazama brings up Pedro Mendez.
Carpenter also a key piece of that Henley State Championship football team. Defensive back, led the team with 7 interceptions.
Hard to believe Mark is only a junior, but he's been playing varsity at every sport he's tried his hand at since he was a freshman. And in all those years, he was arguably the ace for the Henley Hornets as a freshman all those years ago, as he's behind in the count 2-0, make it 2-1 to Pedro Mendez. Two-one home. And offered up at and missed by Mendez, evens the count at 2. Carpenter set, and the pitch. That'll find the zone, strike 3 called. Back-to-back Ks for Carpenter out of the bullpen. Back to the top of the order is Jaden Justice. Justice 0 for 2 today, struck out in the first and flew out in the third. The pitch from Carpenter. That one will miss low, 1-0. Carpenter been working from the windup. Working quickly, the 1-0 is offered up at and missed, a ball and a strike. The Vikings are down to their final out of the afternoon. Marcos Ulloa Ford waits on deck, the 1-1. That one is fouled off. Carpenter with the changeup that time. After all, the velocity had Justice out in front of that one. A ball and 2 strikes to the now Mazama catcher. Here's the 1-2. Looked at for strike 3 called, and that will be the ball game. The Henley Hornets come to Mazama High School and take this one 17-1. We'll recap it all for you and send you on your way coming up. This is Henley Baseball on 104.3 and 960 Sport.
Not corporate. At Clown Falls Subaru, we built our business on that simple promise. Well, that and some of the best people you're ever going to meet. Hi, I'm Rob Cedar, General Manager at Clown Falls Subaru. Our 62 employees make it easy for us to live up to our comfortable, not corporate philosophy. Friendly faces, easy answers, straight talk, fairness, and exceptional service. These are the things you expect. These are the things that all of our people deliver. Our management team, sales pros, certified service and body shop techs, lot attendants, and detail experts are all 100% focused on you. Local people putting their friends and neighbors first. At Clown Falls Subaru, that's the only way we do business. It's comfortable, not corporate. Our team members also spend hundreds of hours each year supporting local charities and events through the Subaru Love Promise. That's the kind of people they are. We're very proud of them. They're your friends, they're your neighbors, they're glad to know you, and they want you to be glad to know them too. I'm Rob, and this is what makes us comfortable, not corporate.
Well, we've got our final score today at Mazama High School. The Henley Hornets defeating the Vikings 17-1 this afternoon. For Henley, 17 runs on 13 hits, 1 error. The Hornets left 8 runners on base this afternoon. For Mazama, 1 run on 3 hits. They committed 5 errors, and they left 3 runners on base this afternoon. Winning pitcher is going to be Bo Pyle, who worked 4 innings for Henley. Gave up 3 hits, 1 run. It was unearned. He walked 1 and struck out 4. Mark Carpenter pitched in relief. The final inning, struck out 3 straight batters, made it real simple in the bottom of the 5th. Losing pitcher today is going to be Jaden Justice. Worked 2 innings, 4 hits, 5 runs. 3 of them earned. He walked 3 and struck out 2. Henley did the most damage today against Jacoby Nickerson, who only was able to record 1 out, gave up 3 hits. 6 runs came across, although only 3 of them earned. 1 walk and 1 strikeout for Nickerson today. A couple of offensive notables for Henley. Let's highlight Aiden Hayes, who went 3 for 5 today with an RBI. He also scored 3 runs. Mark Carpenter, Bo Pyle, and Max Price each had 2 RBIs, but it was Mark Carpenter who hit 2 triples today and scored 2 runs, who maybe left his impact on the game the most, picking up a 17-1 win for his Hornets. Henley has the weekend off Originally scheduled to play Hidden Valley on Saturday due to the forecasted weather, snow and rain, Henley has moved that Hidden Valley doubleheader to next Saturday. In fact, our next broadcast will be on Wednesday when Henley hosts the Cascade Christian Challengers. They're a top 10 team in the 3A classification. That will be on Wednesday at 5. On this station, our next broadcast is going to be tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock as the Oregon Tech Lady Owls softball team gets ready to host the Cascade Conference softball tournament. They will either play Southern Oregon or the University of British Columbia. If you want to come on out, the action at Stillwell Stadium for the conference tournament begins at 9 a.m. tomorrow. And again, we'll be on air about 15 minutes before 2 o'clock for the Oregon Tech opening game of that series. Matt, thanks for coming out again, staying in the cold weather with me for some Henley baseball. Any final thoughts before we get out of here?
Yeah, I mean, not really much to say about this game. Just pretty much clinical from Henley all around. Got off to a much better start than they did on Tuesday, and Hornets still rolling.
17-1 the victory over Mazama today. Want to thank everybody who made today's broadcast possible. Both head coaches, Mike Edwards for Mazama, Joe Tacchini, Sean Teeters for Henley. Of course, the athletic director here at Mazama High School, Vic Leese, allowing us to set up in his football grandstands to get the broadcast on the air for you today. Once again, final score, Henley defeats Mazama, gathers the season sweep, and winning this one 17-1. For Matt Bowling, I'm Josh Eldridge, saying so long from Mazama High School.